Hey everyone, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. I am so happy to be sharing my newest set from Gina K Designs that is releasing this week, July 5th at 7 p.m. Central over at Stamp TV. This set is called This Girl Is, and it's a companion set to my very popular Women of Faith from our previous release. So you're going to have two different women images that are line art that are great for coloring, paper piecing, and all sorts of other techniques. I think that this set really has the beauty and the message of that Women of Faith set, but with a little bit more whimsy. So it is has been so much fun for me creating with it so far. Today I'm going to show you a really simple and really minimal design that you can make with one of the images in this set, this large woman here. And what we're going to be doing is a masking technique to create that glow. I really like how graphic this is with no coloring. I will certainly show different coloring options for hair and skin and the dress or the shirt, but I really enjoy this because this is going to make it apply to anybody, and you could send it out to whomever at a later time after you're creating. And I just love the black and white and the little pops of color. Today's card I'm actually going to do as a single layer, but I'll show you a way that you can get a little bit of pop and dimension on that. In addition to the This Girl Is set, and I will show you the full set next week, so I want there to be some surprises for our release this Thursday. You're also going to need a piece of heavy base weight pure luxury white Gina K cardstock, and this is 4 1/4 by 11 inches scored at 5 1/2 inches. You could also, if you wanted to make it double layer like that, just have a mat that is 5 by 3 3/4 inches. The pads that I'm using today, I've got the Gina K Sweet Corn, and then I'm also going to be using some of the Memento Tuxedo Black, or you could use the Gina K Black Onyx or the new Jet Black Amalgam. Just a couple markers that I'm using here. I've got the DR2, the CR10, and then the IB2, and then an FS2 just for adding a little bit of a rosy glow to her cheeks. Going to be using a sponge dauber. Gonna have some scissors and some foam squares for just popping up an element. And then we're going to have a scrap piece of paper. I bet you have a lot of long strips of paper from when you're cutting different mats for your cards. I know I do. So these are really nice for making sentiments or banners. This one is going to be about 3/4 inch wide, and we will determine the length when I decide which word we're going to be using. I think I want to show you another one then beautiful. There's about, I don't know, 15 large words in this set that are fantastic for not only cards, but also for Bible journaling and other projects. And then to create our mask, you're just going to want to have either some masking paper, or this is just a plain piece of printer copy paper, and it just needs to be large enough for this image. And then we've got the 3 inch by 4 inch block that Gina carries, so this is large enough for both of the line art female images in this set. So let's begin by getting this stamped. And you can see it kind of fades out, so you don't have to have it right at the edge. You can position this anywhere that you want to on your card. I'm going to put it in the middle there. And we're just going to ink this up. Make sure we get all those details. And just position it there in the middle. And lift it up, okay? So I love just how that looks without any coloring. Now, if you have been following me for a long time, you might remember that I had a set my first year at Gina K Designs in 2008, so 10 years ago, with little teas, and we were able to customize it with all different kinds of images and words. This one works the same way, so it is super fun. But I'm gonna have it spell out This Girl Is, so I'm gonna take a smaller block, and I'm going to just peel off these individual words. And you can make it say other things than girl. If you want it to say woman, if you want it to say sister, if you want it to say friend, you have so many different options in here. So you can use a grid line block, or you can use lines on a mat just to line them up, or you can do them separately. So I'm just putting these individual elements on there, and then I'm going to pop in the girl So on this particular one, so this is, maybe I'll do this woman just so that you can see the difference. I love referring to all of my girlfriends, no matter what their age, as girl. Just always young at heart, young inside. In so many ways, I just still feel like a child in so many ways. So woman is in a script, just like this beautiful is that you see here. So I'm just going to pop that in, and that's just going to fit exactly right across like a belt. And the other image is a little different. It's a full length shot, so that gives you a lot of other options for your layout. And then I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to do faithful on this one. So there are a lot of faith-based words, but then a lot that are just intended for different occasions that you would be sending cards out for. So this one, instead of stamping it at the bottom, I'm going to just stamp this on my scrap piece, and she's going to be able to hold this up in her hands like a banner. So that's just going to go right there in between. So I'm just going to cut that like that. And if you want, you can see I accented that with a little butterfly. There's all kinds of little butterflies and hearts and flowers and different things that you can use for embellishments or to put on her top or to just light on the little words. So I'm just going to put that there at the end of faithful, and that's going to kind of fill that out since I didn't stamp it exactly in the middle. And then if you want to trim it down just a little bit more so you can see the edges of her fingers, you can do that. Okay, so that is going to go just on there just like that. And then I am going to just add a little bit of color. So I'm going to take the DR2 and I'm going to put that just right there on her mouth, and then just a little bit right here on this butterfly to pick up that red. Then I'm going to take this FS2. Just want to use kind of a fleshy or a light pink color, just something that's going to indicate just a little bit of a blush. I just didn't want to go too dark, so I'm just putting it in there. I didn't want it to look clown-like, but it's just enough to kind of suggest a hint there, okay? So let me show you now how you would then do your mask. So we would take this image, and still got some ink on it, but I'll go ahead and ink it up one more time. I'm gonna put this aside for a second. So to create our mask, here's one that I already cut out, but you would just stamp this onto the piece of copy paper. And I'm putting this at the bottom because I'm gonna save both pieces. I'll show you what to do. If you cut it out very carefully, you can use it as a reverse mask to put something inside the shirt. So you would just then cut this out and save both pieces. If you're not concerned about doing the reverse masking, or you want to do it later, then you can just cut it out and not be as careful about it, meaning you could cut it just straight across there. So I'm trying to decide if you want to see me cut this whole thing or if you want me to see the technique. I'm going to just go ahead and do the technique. Okay, so we would finish cutting this out. I'm going to save this. I'm going to show you the reverse mask that I just mentioned in a minute, or in another video, excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're just going to line this up right over the image like we're paper piecing, and then we're going to sponge around it, and it's just going to really make that image pop, and it's just going to add that glow. So there's a lot of symbolism there, letting your light shine. So if you want, you can tack this down with some removable adhesive, or you can just hold it gently, not too hard, and just do your sponging very lightly. So this is coming out a little bit darker than sweet corn would if I had a completely clean sponge. Still a little bit of orange ink on it from my last card. So I'm just kind of trying to create a halo effect around it. So when you pull it away, I'm gonna go a little bit lower there on the hair. Just really get in there. And it doesn't have to be exactly even. I'm just kind of going back and forth so it's relatively the same on either side. Okay, so that's all the coloring that we're going to do there. And if you want to do another little butterfly flying around, because I said we were going to use those other marker colors, just going to do one over here real quick with that same Memento. But I hope this gives you lots of ideas for how you're going to use it. And I can't wait to show you the other large and small words that are in this set. So many options. So I'm going to color this one blue. And then we're going to go ahead and just put on that word with some of these little foam squares. Like she's holding a banner. I have lots of other ideas for you for what she can be holding up in her hands. So these are like lifted hands, whether they're in praise, in song, or just someone who's just like standing out in a field very free. Got her wind in her hair, her eyes closed to shut everything out, negative outside of her. This girl is faithful, or this woman is faithful, excuse me. So here's 2 examples for you, very easy to do. I can't wait for you to see the full set and to share more techniques with you in the weeks to come for This Girl Is, and to put it together with the Women of Faith set. Really fun options when you have both of them. Please join us at our release party on Thursday night, July 5th at 7 p.m. The products will be available in the Gina K Design store. I am just going to be popping into the party briefly this time because I'm going to be away at a camp with my 13-year-old son. I'm so excited. I can't wait to share more about that. But I am going to try to check in if I've got Wi-Fi out there and just say hello and thank you for all of your support and encouragement that you've given to these sets. Please leave comments below and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching today. God bless.